Hello everyone, how y'all doing? Welcome to another video and welcome to the Matrix. While we're at it, we changed offices yet again. And welcome to the Demoscene Report of April 2023. It's a very packed month with a lot of stuff, a lot of releases outside of competitions, and of course the major demo party that we are always expecting every single year. A revision happened in April this year, so I'm going to cover that as well. So a lot of things to go through. Probably going to split this into two videos, but let's get right onto it and go into Demoscene related media that happened. Let's take a look here. So first thing that came out just barely right after I published the report for the previous month, a new episode of Zine came out April 4th, and it's a special episode talking with JCO about gimmicks and satire in demos. Very interesting topic and very passionate discussion between Aki and JCO on the interview as well. So I highly recommend you checking it out. What can I say about it? I was going to say that if you are a hardcore enthusiast into the demo scene that only sees the technical aspect of the demo scene, this will make you think twice and think a little bit more about why people do funny things in demos, why they don't take it full 100% seriously all the time, and see their side as well. So I think that's a very interesting approach for those people. And if you're afraid of doing demos as well, or not being able to reach the quality the quality standard that you expect from the demo scene, this can also give you some perspective. This episode can also give you some perspective on that, on ways to express yourself and not demand so much from yourself. Okay, and that was the main Demoscene related thing that I actually wanted to talk about. There are quite a few more that happened on this month, but I'm going to save them for the second part of the video. Because they all happened outside of revision or after revision. So I'm going to talk about other out-of-compo releases, which are not that many again, so it's very quickly. First we had a Himid 2D for the ZX Spectrum, just a birthday production for IMIC, and then we also had RetroRampage by Arsenic for the Pico 8, who probably also didn't get the memo that he could submit fantasy consoles to the wild competition at revision. But it's fine, people want to release outside compos, they are more than welcome to do so. Who are we to criticize them? I am PS, that's why I criticize them. But yeah. Anyways, revision. Let's talk about revision. Revision, biggest demo party, happening to 7th or 10th of April. Probably tired of hearing me talk about that. So let's take a look at the things that did happen at revision itself. Switch the view back. Ton of organizers. Before we go into the compos, let's take a look at the Meteoriks actually, because they were presented at revision itself on the first day of revision, and we got to learn about the laureates for the different categories. So 61Q0 won the New Talent Award. Really much very much interested to see if there is another release ever coming for 61Q0, or if it was just a one-shot. Was expecting to see something again at revision or sessions from him, but I didn't see anything, so I'm very curious about that. But I think it's a worthy New Talent nomination because I like the production. Outstanding concept went for Polygon, and a special nomination for 420 Years by Teletext. I completely disagree with both of these, but I talked about it before, and so I won't extend myself more. Best Executable Graphics, Orders of Magnitude by P. Malin won, which I think was a very merited winning as well. Best Old School Production was expecting Area 5150 or Back to the Pet to win. Arise 2 won instead. But it's a really good demo as well, so I think it's just as worthy winner as the other two. I had an interesting discussion with the people from Extend as well about their demo, because I wasn't very convinced on it technically, and they gave me some more insight on why it is interesting, and not just defending their cause, but really educating me, because I'm not a Commodore 64 scener, so some things I do not perceive immediately, and they do explore petscii in a way that not many Commodore 64 demos do or did before, and that's why it makes this demo extra interesting for a lot of Commodore sceners, and also the jury apparently for Best Old School. Best mid-school production, this was clear that Batman Rises was going to win this one. The best soundtrack returned by Caladox and Rebels, Alchema winning again the best soundtrack, and I think it's very well merited. For me, from all of these 5 nominations, it was my favorite track in terms of production, in terms of evolution. I think it worked really well, and I really liked the remark that he gave while accepting the speech, giving a shout out to Genio for all his soundtracks. None of them got nominated, and all of them were quite phenomenal as well. Outstanding technical achievement went for Area 5150, which I think it's also deserved. Best visuals returned by Caladox and Rebels. I also think it's deserved. Had a lot of diversity on it, a lot of different things, a lot of attention to detail, which the other productions didn't quite match to that level. All of them also had some good visuals or some good things, but in terms of quantity, while maintaining the quality, I think Return by Caladox and Rebels was one step ahead of the other ones, so I think it was a worthy winner because of that. Best High-End Intro going to LJ and Virgil for one of their 2 nominations, and I think it was a pretty well-deserved win as well. Best Direction for Ninja Dev. I'm a very big Ninja Dev fanboy, so I completely applaud this. Although I wouldn't be surprised if we would have gone to Let This Darkness Be by Sleigh Bells either, because that was very well directed as well. Best High-End Demo also went to Return by Caladox and Rebels, so they ended up taking a lot of prizes. And yeah, these were the Meteoriks. A lot of things have been discussed. A lot of these productions have been shown as well, so let's not extend too much about it. Let's move on to other things that happened at Revision, namely the Showdown that happened, the Shader Showdown that happened again on the first day of Revision, this time in a 3-way fight, and I helped organize this. Was one of the commentators as well. First qualifier put head-to-head, or well, not head-to-head, in the 3-way. Newcomer Moliv, just recently recruited, thrown into the middle of the 2-time champion, of the original 2-time champion Musk, and Flopine, the returning champion from 2020, if I'm not mistaken, or 2021 maybe. So yeah, very interesting fight. Flopine was a clear winner according to the votes, but I liked all 3 of the shaders. I think all of them were quite cool. Second qualifier, Evil won by a landslide over Zork and Doc. Third qualifier, Totetmat barely won over Nusan and Cosa Mentale. All of them were really good shaders though as well, so very hard to vote on this particular thing. And then the next day we had the final with Evil winning, very closely followed by Flopine and Totetmat in the 3rd place. Think it went really well overall. We had some issues setting up and stuff, but I think it worked pretty cool. I think people enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about the format, if you like the freeway or if you like the head-to-head a bit better, and we can probably adapt things for next year. But I'm pretty sad that the freeway was a success and it worked well. And like the main point was that if someone didn't quite perform as well, you still had 2 very interesting things to see, and I think it worked out well in that regard. The only problem was trying to fit all the 9 positions, but there are a few other tricks that you can do. You don't need to have all 9 positions all the time, and I think at Revision it's easy, or relatively easy, to get 9 people to participate. Another thing that helped organize, which was really cool, was doing visuals for one of the live sets. Hoffman on the 2nd day did this mid-compo 1 hour live set, and we had VJs from all over the world live coding, and I was the one at the Beam team desk mixing what shader would be on the screen at the different times. Had a lot of fun doing it. The set was awesome. Thank you so much everybody who participated. I was actually expecting more people to participate because we had more people interested earlier on, and some people were talking to me during the party how they can participate, but then I didn't get as many people pinging me to join when the party was actually happening. Maybe because I wasn't like following up, making sure that everybody was online right at the time. I just assumed everybody was watching the stream or would contact me when it was time to join. But it was still very fun, very cool, and I'm definitely interested in doing it again. We also did a TIC80 jam session, which was also quite interesting. First time that it happened at Revision. We had people on stage just coding Lua for an hour and a half, I think, around. So it was really cool. What else? There are a lot more other live events and also seminars that happen at Revision. If you go to the Revision YouTube site, you can catch all of those things. Also with the competitions, but mostly the seminars. This is one of the seminars that I haven't seen yet that I definitely want to see. By PsyCon, but there are a few others, very interesting stuff, so definitely go check it out. If you missed something, the YouTube of Revision was immediately updated and has all the stuff there, so really cool to check out. And then we have the Compos, which is not here, it's here. Lot of competitions at Revision. I think when I first counted were 28. So I'm gonna go through all of them, and if it's taking too long, then I'm gonna cut the video halfway. If it doesn't take too long, then I'm gonna finish Revision on this part of the video and save everything else for part 2. So let's take a look. First, at 256 byte intro competition, only for the MS-DOS or FreeDOS. A lot of good entries. I was expecting slightly less number of entries comparing from previous year. The quality was pretty decent overall, and the top 4 or 5 were really good. Kummel with a very high-res picture here. Atlantis by Helmut had this very good vibe, and also you could hear like sounds of bubbles, which was a really nice touch. I'm not sure how they did it, probably MIDI, but having to find that right thing to do that sound was really cool. Crevice by Gopher was ridiculous in the sense that it was 128 bytes instead of 256, so half the size. The basic grayscale palette, but it had like actual progression. It wasn't just the 3D scene, it had multiple things, multiple progression into it, and I think that's what really made it to stand out from the rest of the entries. And then the winner was Gaia by Marquee Design, which was a similar thing to Gopher's entry, like using 3D but in a more voxel landscape here. Nice touch with the logo itself, like wasting a few bytes to make the Gaia logo in it as well. I think it also sold, and it had multiple scenes, which Super is really good at creating on his intros, and it really helps make it feel like more full, complete of an intro. So that's probably why it ended up winning. I was personally thinking that Crevice would win, but I'm happy for Super Rogue as well. Then we move on to the 3D graphics competition. Not that many entries again this year, and there was sadly a mistake on the rules. They wanted to eliminate Blender altogether and only have Foxotron allowed, to force people to not use the Blender filters and special features that kind of, when you have Foxotron and Blender at the same time on the compo, people will lean towards Blender because they can do more stuff with Blender. So the idea was to remove Blender from being allowed at all, but they forgot to update the rules, so they ended up having to accept Blender entries in the end. Quite good entries overall. Marex had his first submission, and it was also pretty good as well. Black Hole by Andrud. Also pretty cool. Road Trip to Revision, also very solid little entry here. Extraction Point by Psychon with a more sci-fi theme. Louisa Armstrong on the Sunny Side of the Street by Louisa, and the winner, DeLorean Dreamscape by KD. And I really love the lighting on this one. Have this very synthwave feeling to it. So yeah, really cool. Moving on to the 4K executable graphics, this was a massive competition this year. A lot of people, like 4K executable graphics has really been ramping up for like the last 4 or 5 years, has really been taking high quality doses. Everybody really stepped up their game, and still new people showing up and doing stuff for the first time on this competition, and it's really cool to see the quality and the insane quality of everything. Like I'm gonna go through all of them because all of them are really good. Alien here with like a demon-like creature made out of plasmas. Molly with a funny cat thing with the motion. I really like that detail. CCE by Basic. CCE of Basic with this particular thing, and this one has an interesting story, which was the filter was calculated using AI stuff, which generated a little bit of controversy, like people questioning if they should be disqualified according to the rules of revision. Post-party, so during the party, no one really noticed. Okay, it has an interesting filter, but they assumed it was hand-coded. It was optimized with some machine learning stuff. So according to the rules or the definition of the modern definition of AI, machine learning stuff should not be allowed in graphics competitions. I, for one, think that these kind of things should be allowed on the 4K graphics. I want to see more people doing filters on their entries and using machine learning to calculate how to do those filters and then applying them. Still need to include the algorithm inside the code, so I think it's a valid thing. It's not, but to play the devil's advocate, you can claim that you are stealing someone's style from this thing. I don't think that's the case. But I'm a very pro AI person myself. Then Paintball from Sylvia, relatively newcomer to the demo scene as well. I think it's pretty solid entry as well. I really liked it. Coriolis by Moko, also a second year demo scener. So really cool to see new people doing entries. I'm just ashamed that it's not the revision logo. It should be the revision logo, not just like a sun thing. Kukub by Zorg, also a solid entry. Voyager the 6 by Totetmat, very realistic planets here. Pins and Needles by Blackle, really nice use of depth of field and attention to detail and composition. A Scream You Can Hear in Space, I specifically liked this one because it's like it's not the usual ray marching scene that a lot of other people do. It has like its own unique, it reuses this particular shape to create something, so I really like that concept and that idea. Takeoff by Nano Henry, Neighbors by Flopine, Visura Sanctis by Fell, Retrovision by Dean Decoder, was also a debut last year and nominated for a newcomer Meteoriks Award. Mentally by Prism Beings, Nobi doing they are so good at doing composition stuff, like the lighting on this one is just phenomenal. Demo Mode by P. Malin, doing an arcade thing, which is also really cool. Newson with Lost Under Surface, which was also very good in terms of composition. Took me a while to find the little human there, but it's very good for a sense of scale and like giving direction to the scene. Fracalid by Evil Rio has this very abstract, weird, alien-like look, but also like so many different sort of things used there, like the tree is completely different from the foliage thing, so really like this image as well. Knits and Sips by Berkon, also tremendous composition as well. Museum of Memories by YX is a very nice little trick. So she used 3 of her previous images and condensed them all into one single image and did like this space to put them on with the bench. Like it's a museum. It's a museum. You see them in the museum, and all the details of the lighting and materials really help drive the thing. That really looks like a photograph. So I really like this entry as well. Fast and Furious by Kloss as well. Very good, nice sense of speed, which is also very cool to see. And yeah, I really like this image as well. Riverscape by Anad. It seems like it's a remake of one of his previous entries or his previous intro, but with a little bit more attention to lighting and things like that. It's missing like a specific element for me, like a boat or something to drive a narrative. But in terms of how it looks extremely realistic. So I really love it. Then the winner was Storm, apparently a newcomer to the demo scene. Had so much detail on this, like so realistic detail. The clouds look so realistic. The whole ocean, the thing, the boat, like all the layers of detail just to make the damn boat. The only thing I didn't like about this was you look at the coast and it doesn't seem realistic. Like it doesn't feel like it's. I was expecting to see waves clashing here, but I can understand that that's not very easy to add as well. But that's the only nitpick I could find. Like everything else was just amazing. So congratulations to Maurodnik for the win there. Moving on to the next competition, ascii, ansi, and petscii competition. Also again, a lot of qualities and very high quality. And they mixed all sorts of different things here. Well, every year they've been mixing ascii, ansi, and petscii as well, with promises that next year we also have teletext available. A lot of cool entries. Old schools, it's a very long scrolling. Going to fly. And some of these are like very long columns. Like I'm gonna show you the one from Spinny, for example. Like it has face of a woman there. Petscii, Louisa's entry, flower in the vase. So more petscii, but very nice attention to like design, graphic design on it. Purple Road by Go280 also got a very good placing. Very abstract things. Hardcore will never die. It got second place. Reference to it, obviously. Then Dreaming of Santov got first place. With the image from Eon. By Aki. Okay, so it was the ascii, ansi, and petscii. I really like the quality on this year's edition again, so really cool. Amiga Demo Compo, quite a few number of entries, but the quality was not as good as I was expecting, but this comes in cycles as always. Let's take a look at the winners. Funk got in last place, 1% 8 with very, very funny music and colors, getting 8. Visor Beams by Nightcaller, New Generation Crew with Nature of Magic. I remember this one had very good graphics. The Loop by Ghost Town and Howjob, and I mean Ghost Town and Howjob getting 5th place, that's ridiculous as well. Sojourn of the Soul, very good demo by Flex as well. Cycle Up by Oxygen. They did 5 world records in the single demo, and they only got 3rd place. So the technical days of the demo scene are definitely over. You need something else besides world records to win a competition nowadays. Neocolora by Dark Age and Lemon, getting 2nd place, and the 1st place went for Blood Sugar Rises by Attention Whore, with a little tribute to Powerpuff Girls, among other things. Then we had the Amiga Intro competition, with quite a few fillers earlier on. Melon sticker intro, and I managed to get both stickers. So I am elite. I have proof that I am elite. Melon or watermelon, east side or west side, I have both. Bantam by Cosmic Orbs, Hope by Finity Games, Sciatica by Nightcaller Griffin, by Nightcaller and Offense. Nice collaboration there as well. And Electric Lifeforms by Ghost Town winning the competition. Animated GIF compo. I actually missed this competition. A lot of entries, and I expected they played Koshio and Finsprit. Let's take a look at the entries real quick. Well, I guess they make a lot more sense if they are moving. Oh, this looks really cool. Oh yeah, the winner I do remember. Back to the E-work by Slayer of Ghost Town. So yeah, seems like it was a good compo. I'm sad I missed it for reasons, and I definitely have to check it out again. I can check it on the videos of the revision channel. Animation video compo, filled with a lot of different stuff as well. Experimental stuff from Nosfe, Journey with BBC. I missed Futility 2. Some Super 8 footage, some Farian, some reference to the pinballs. Road to Revision number 3. Oh, this was disgusting to see, but it was recorded from footage before the pandemic. So if people think that it was particularly unsanitary, this was before we realized that a pandemic was coming. A teaser for a movie, Lights at Night. I don't really remember this one anymore. Brad Vision. Oh, the duck guy. The duck guy that did something at Demo Splash did this Brad Vision entry for revision as well. It was quite funny, and he will make an appearance again at sessions. So stay tuned for more of him. Wraith by Lila with music by Laserpunk, which was also quite good. Boink by Ink, Contact by Mercury, and the winner Drag and Drop by Half Beat Cheese, a production that has been on the making for like over 10 years, I believe, from the info file. Which is really cool that Happy Cheese came in full force to revision, and they released a lot of cool things on the different competitions. They usually stick around on assembly more. They have been on other parties as well, but it was really cool to see them as again. Executable Music was won by 10-4. Fast Music was won by Sigvzig of Ninja Dev. And I had to leave the compo hall during Fast Music. The music was so loud, it was hurting my ears. Even clogging them, it was still too loud. I had to leave the party hall during the music compo. And hopefully they'll have better dB meters for next year, because otherwise I won't be able to listen to the music compos. Game dev compo was also pretty good. A lot of entries, some fillers, but a lot of interesting stuff. Shadow of the Beast for the KC85-4. A Neo command for the Tilt 5 was also cool. I talked a little bit with Space Dog. He was telling me about the development for this, and he showed me the hardware. And I knew the hardware as well from following Jerry Ellsworth. And yeah, it really works. It works really well. I wasn't expecting it to work so well. So I was really surprised, and yeah, I really found it cool. 8 Midas, which I do remember playing this game on the Spectrum and on early DOS. So really brought back some good memories, and it was very well developed. Like, it had a lot of attention to detail, different levels and stuff like that. I would probably play this game. Photon Ball also got a lot of attention, and I think was also pretty interesting concept. Reminded me of some older DOS games as well. Soul by Titan also released a platformer. I don't particularly like the graphic style of this one, but it felt like a pre-finished release. Vic Strip by Acronologiker. This was a funny gag to strip poker. You would strip the machine instead of stripping a girl player. Transneurotica Prelude. I like these kind of games that you connect the stuff. I play them sometimes on my iPhone, so I really found this very interesting, and I would definitely try this again. And I think I wishlisted on Steam when the final version comes out. And then Box 4-1 from Retro Guru, which was a very solid game as well, like a lot of levels and different stuff and very good artwork on it. So really good game compo as well. How are we on time? Half an hour, so let's try to rush through the rest of the compos. Probably gonna end at Modern Graphics and then do the rest on the second part. Let's take a look. Modern Graphics, also a lot of entries submitted, and this was one of those compos where you were not allowed to do any AI stuff, so everything has to be drawn by hand or with a tablet. Love the style of ENIAC. He has such a unique style. I really love it. Like the way he does aliasing with the limited palette, with the pointillism on random places. I really love his style. Android doing something in 13th place. Ko Mao, also very nice stuff with some elves. Howl of the Forest by Callisto, getting 11th place. Unknown Number by Leon, and this was using 9 C64 screens, like gluing them together. So using the C64 palette and doing pixel graphics by C64, but 9 times C64 resolution. Alternate Universe, Windows XP default background by Valtteri, also nice style there. Gift for the Mankind by Visualize. I was curious to see Visualize submitting something, because he has been very away from the demo scene stuff, so that might be cool. I hope to see some Visualize entries again in the future. Eloe with his Autoboss entry as well, really cool. And Not Your Enemy by Unreal. X Marks the Spot by Faith. She also has a very cool style all the times, and I should probably show these in full screen. Yep. And Mermaids by Likan getting 4th place. Pen and Paper Scan, I guess. Really cool stuff by Oni as well, getting 3rd place. I love the character design. The little dragon blowing on the sail. That's a really nice touch. Maid got 2nd place. Such high quality, ridiculous, like the water sort of thing. And then the winner was Darky, Finnish person who usually releases at assembly and has been winning a lot of assembly graphics competition. Last year he submitted on the online version and won the online version of Revision. This year he came in person and delivered this masterpiece. Really cool stuff, like the concept of the whole thing, the quality of the design. Very worthy winner in my humble opinion. And apparently this is no longer the Oni compo, now it's the Darky compo, 2 years in a row having won it. So really much looking forward to what the modern graphics competitions will be like in the future of Revision. So really high quality, and pretty much across the board all competitions had a lot more entries than you would usually expect. Like compared to last year, they had always like slightly more entries. I think only the 3D graphics compo had less entries than last year, but I didn't really count. But overall, it felt like more entries submitted despite being physical and less people attending, and yeah, which was really cool to see. Let's see if next year it will be the same, or if it's just like, hype because it's the first physical revision in 4 years. Anyways, I'm going to wrap up this video here. Next part will be the rest of revision competitions, also talking about sessions, also talking about BCC and all the other Demoscene Media related stuff that came out throughout the rest of the month. Hope you enjoy the rest of the day that you had, and don't forget to catch the next part tomorrow probably. Yeah, so bye bye everybody, take care, have a great day.